I've now been joined by Engineer Akin Olateru, who is the Commissioner, Accident Investigation Bureau. Very warm welcome to Newsnight.
Thank you very much.
I could see that you're just coming straight from that conference or anniversary celebration.
Correct.
But tell us about, the recommended victim support program and what your bureau or the government has been doing.
Thank you very much. When you look at it in the past till date, there is no legal provision for family assistance program. Yes, there's been some pronouncement in the past by various administrations, but one thing that you have to give it to this administration under the leadership of Senator Heidi Sirika, it's about prescribing malaria drug for a malaria patient rather than prescribing Panadol for somebody who has typhoid. That's what we've been doing in the past. So it's about nipping in the bud and solving the problem right from the web. So what we have now in the new bill coming up that's just been recently passed by the National Assembly, we have a section there that will take care of family assistance program. And that will be enshrined in our law. That becomes the law. Operators in Nigeria will have to have a program that will be approved by the Civil Aviation Authority, and that will be tested from time to time, over time, to ensure when these unfortunate incidents do happen, the families, the victims will not be left high and dry.
But I thought ICAO, it's an international standard. I mean, that victims, one, are insured and the rest, so compensation is automatic. Has Nigerian victims of air crashes been compensated?
Well, if you look at the figures, you have some passengers that died in Sosoliso air crash, some ADC at a time, till
Bellevue,
till
EAS,
today, some of them have not been compensated.
Why is that so?
Because it's not been enshrined in our law, and we're just about doing that now. That's what I said.
Would it be backdated for such
we
persons?
Can't. You look at it. Sosoliso is no more. Sosoliso is gone.
ADC
is gone.
Bellevue.
So where do
Yes.
where do you start? So we just have to move from where we are. It's unfortunate.
What a shame.
But that's where we are, and we just have to move on with it.
What a shame. Well, we know the three causes that can, happen to cause an air accident and the rest. Tell us about the recent one that involved the late chief of Army staff, the light aircraft carrying him and some other officers and men and the rest, because that report should have been ready by now.
Well, if you look at, if you're following the news, AIB was called upon by the military. It was a military crash. Unfortunately, happened at a civil airport.
Yeah.
So we were asked by the Chief of Air Staff to assist in that investigation. We have conducted our investigation. We have submitted the preliminary report to the Chief of Air Staff, and then Chief of Air Staff, yes. And there are some safety recommendations that are due to be issued, but we need approval. You have to understand, anything military is classified.
It's classified,
so
yes.
we need the approval of the Air Force before we can issue those safety recommendations. Bear in mind, those safety recommendations, some are targeted at FAN, some are targeted at NAMA, and some targeted at the NIMET regarding the...
And how about the air traffic control? Because that is really key.
That's what I mean by NAMA.
By NAMA, yes. Correct. Because that is really key, some of the indicators that we laymen heard, about that crash was that the weather was storied, but was there communication between the control tower and the pilot? Did the pilot defy? Can a pilot defy the control tower in adverse weather when he says don't land, and some will tell you they can land or they can take off? What happens?
Well, I don't think any pilot would defy ATC instruction. But in this regard,
Let me just quickly take you. Yes. Less than 48 hours ago at Heathrow Airport in London, yes, some aircrafts were able to land in a gust wind of 70 miles per hour.
Correct.
Is that safe in aviation parlance?
Well, the ATC will tell you this is the weather. They'll report the situation to you, and then if you think you're comfortable enough to land and it's within the
law, will be at the pilot's discretion.
Every airline has their manuals which guides their operations, which will be approved by the Civil Aviation Authority of that relevant country. So as long as it's within limits and the pilot thinks he can. If you look at it, some didn't have the balls. They had to kind of, go around. So it depends on, but for the military, it's a military crash, which I am not. It's beyond my mandate to discuss that.
We'll leave it at that. But very quickly, accident investigation is, a very complex assignment. What are some of the challenges does the Bureau, face? And has it helped in reducing the incidence of air crashes in Nigeria in any way?
Well, since I came on board 2017, one major challenge that I saw at the time was funding, and funding was a critical issue at the time, and walked up to, did a nice presentation to the Honorable Minister of Aviation, did another presentation to the National Assembly, and we found a way to support AIB in funding, and this is why we've been able to deal with all the backlogs of those accidents. We've been able to, since 2017 till date, we've released 45 final reports. We've issued 220 safety recommendations, some targeted to aircraft manufacturers, some to the airlines, some to civil aviation authorities, and we've saved lives. And this is why today, in the last 6 years, and this is a contributing factor, we have one of the safest sky in the world.
Fantastic. That's quite cheery to hear, and congratulations again on the anniversary, and we hope the accident compensation clause or section there will be accelerated for families of victims of such. Thank you very much. I've been speaking with Akin Olateru. He's an engineer and the Commissioner for Accident Investigation Bureau in Nigeria.